Welcome, my beautiful Scorpios. This is your June 2023 reading. This is going to be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. You may have planets in the sign of Scorpio, or you may be in love with the Scorpio. I know I am, platonically. I want to give a shout out to my daughter, who is Scorpio, born on October 29th. My brother, also Scorpio, born on November 6th. And even my ex-husband's a Scorpio, so we'll put that out there. He was born on Halloween. Surprise, surprise. No, he's a nice guy. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading, guys. So, can't believe we're saying this is for June, but it is. We're going to use 3 different decks. I'm switching it up a little bit for you. We're going to use Mother Mary. Always, I love Mother Mary for her words of wisdom. We're going to use the Crystal Vision to do any clarifying. Excuse this one nail. I did my nails, but they're it's a gel, and it popped off. And they take so long to dry that I did not have time. Well, it was either do your reading or do my nail. And I wanted to do your reading more. So, and we're going to use the light series for your main spread today. So let's go ahead and begin. Just take a couple deep breaths. This is an intuitive read. I connect with my guides, who I believe connect with your guides. I don't know why I always say I believe. I'm pretty sure they do. So, what do you need to know? What can you know? What's coming up for June? Remember, time is fluid, so sometimes you may not see a video for months or sometimes even years later. You know, one of my most popular videos is a Scorpio reading from 5 years ago. And it still gets a lot of views, and it still holds true to today. It was really from your spirit guides, but yeah, it's, you know, so people are still finding it. It's finding people, and just trust in the process. Time is fluid. All right, let's begin. All right, Mother Mary, Scorpio. Patience. Patience, my child. Patience. This reminds me of Temperance, whose main lesson is patience, right? For why? For divine timing, so that what wants to come together can come together fully. You know, you don't want something half-baked. You want it fully baked. I trust in divine timing. I trust in divine timing. All right, we'll read that from the book at the end of your reading, and it'll make perfect sense. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the light seers. And by the way, everything is already pre-shuffled, but I do like to give it a couple shuffles with you here. So, one more. That was a good shuffle. Let's give them a cut. And I'm going to shuffle for your cards today. So let's go ahead and begin. Also, I want to give a shout out to my members. I have quite a few who are Scorpios. So shout out to you. All right. Scorpio. All right, we open with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords. You know, that page has a book open, and from that book, she's receiving like epiphany after epiphany, idea after idea. I feel like it's the book of knowledge. I feel like the epiphanies are from your guides, your spiritual team. This can certainly speak of a younger person also. Swords would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. can be of a younger time also. So someone that I used to know. Alright, your cards are really making me work for it today. It's interesting because she's walking this tight line, this tightrope, while she's reading a book, and it's like the balloons are what's really keeping her balanced. Again, those balloons to me are her ideas, her thoughts, her epiphanies that she's receiving. We have the Empress, the mother figure, the creative one, the loving and nurturing one. You know, Scorpio is comfortable living above the water and below the water. Half in the light, half in the dark. And why do I say that? Because I feel Scorpio feels best when they're helping others. Those who, I want to say, deserve the help first and foremost, because I think the one thing you got to be careful of is you give so much that you have to make sure that you're receiving. You know what I mean? Like don't give just to give. Well, you know what I mean. I'm talking about like in a relationship type of thing, you know, to give freely of your money to like those who need help. But you want to make sure you're giving a hand up, not a hand out. The Empress, so creative. And I love that she's sitting next to this page who I feel like is just receiving epiphany after epiphany. It's interesting too because her eyes are closed. She looks like she's lying in bed, like she's dreaming. So some of your dreams, pay attention to them. You know, it's interesting because my daughter, who does have her own channel, Jenny Love Tarot, though she's not that active on it because she's quite busy. You know, when my sister passed, it was like 2 days later, she had a dream that my sister came to her, and she said that my sister was with someone that Jennifer didn't recognize, but when she explained to me what this person looked like, I knew right away. It was my sister's very best friend. His name was Strings, and you know, it brought my heart so much comfort because they were like two of a kind. So, why am I saying that? Because I feel some of you, that's maybe how you receive your messages. When the mind is quiet. Remember, the Empress is not only receiving epiphanies, but with purpose. And the purpose is to give birth to those ideas. You know, she looks like she's on her 3rd trimester. So I feel like that means something is coming to fruition soon. We have the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have the Four of Cups. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Okay. Well, it took a little bit of a turn, so let's look at this. First of all, let me bring the lid down so you can see it better. Four Cups speaks about using your spiritual discernment as it relates to any decisions or anything you want to do in your work. You know, if you question something like, is something for me, like you're deep down, you know. I feel like deep down you would know. Four Cups can be discontentment in one's life, you know, boredom. It's interesting, she's looking back at that king, but the king is looking back at her. And the king has like this big pentacle he's holding. He doesn't look like he's in any rush, but he is recognizing that person. Interesting. Doesn't look like he's in any rush. Patience, divine timing, but he is noticing. And then the Eight of Swords. Well, probably one of my least favorite cards. However, this is a self-created prison. And because it's self-created, it means that you have control over that. You can uncreate it. It's usually because of my thoughts, you know, limiting beliefs. However, I feel like at the same breath, like you're receiving epiphanies, but are you trusting them? 8 is about allowing yourself to have a new beginning, and I feel like I have to say allow because we're in the 8 of Swords energy. All right, let's figure out why. Eight is infinity, as above, so below. Interesting how I was talking about Scorpio being comfortable in above the water, but also below the water. We have the 6 of Cups. Treasured memories. Can speak as someone of your past. We have the Knight of Wands. Interesting how I was saying the King here, the King of Pentacles, looks chilled out, relaxed. You know what I mean? Like, no rush. And maybe that's just the way he lives. Like, no rush. But I do have the Pentacle. Maybe you're waiting for this king to hand you the Pentacle. And maybe you don't want to wait. And I don't think you need to wait. What I mean by that is, you know, if I'm expecting someone to give me this Pentacle, and to me the Pentacle just represents something that's physical. It's in your life. You know what I mean? Well, I forget what I was going to say. Let's keep going and we'll figure it out. So we got the Knight of Wands under this King, which is fast-moving energy. It's passionate energy. So, you know, we had patience, but now we have energy that's moving. Let's see why. What has changed? Nine of Swords. Alright, Scorpio. So we went from the 8 of Swords, and now we have the 9 of Swords. Self-created prison. And if I don't deal with that, then it turns into the 9 of Swords, which is worry, which is isolation, which can be depression. You know what I mean? I feel like the energy from the 8 of Swords into the 9 of Swords, if it's not dealt with, it's going to show some way, somehow, through the body. It is, you know, it can cause sleepless nights. Though I feel like the Empress is sleeping pretty well, though it can cause sleepless nights. This is the energy of unnecessary worry, though. Unnecessary. Well, hello, 10 of Pentacles. So I'm wondering, does that King actually give us that Pentacle after all? And then Judgment, your spiritual team. Judgment is also a call to the present moment. So again, interesting that our first card from Mother Mary is patience. But then we get the Knight of Wands, which is fast-moving energy. And now we have Judgment. And Judgment is calling you to the present moment. For what reason? Because some type of rebirth wants to take place. You know, it's like the Empress is about to give birth to whatever this may be. This is, you know what I love when Judgment shows up in a reading? It means that you're being guided. I mean, you're always being guided, but I feel like it's a reminder to you that you're being guided. Trust your feelings. Trust, you know, like trust yourself. Because with the 8 and 9 of Swords here, I don't know that I am. And then the Four of Cups, not only do I not know if I'm trusting myself, I'm not doing a whole lot about anything. But I don't think that's the way it wants to be. Judgment sitting right next to the Ten of Pentacles. Coming under the Six of Cups. So, let's talk about the Six of Cups a little bit more. This can represent a person. It can represent someone that, at least at one time, you have very happy memories about. And it's interesting because I feel like with the Knight right next to this Six of Cups, I feel like there's someone who appreciates you for who you are. I feel like you go to the beat of your own drum, and I feel like that's appreciated. Doesn't mean that you even know that, but I do feel that. I do feel like that's what I like about her or him. Yet I feel like you got yourself tied in knots. Your spiritual team wants you to free yourself so that this rebirth can take place. I do feel like this king is going to hand you that pentacle, because we move down here into the Ten of Pentacles. Now, I don't feel like it's someone else that's creating the Ten of Pentacles for you. I feel like you're creating that Ten of Pentacles, because I feel like the epiphanies are just coming to you left and right. Ideas. My daughter gets epiphanies constantly, and she writes them down like she's got notebooks. And that may help some of you. Like just writing down your thoughts, writing down what comes to you, even writing down your dreams, like having a dream journal. You may wake up and the dream may not make complete sense, but then as you start putting the pieces together, the next dream and the next dream, and you can even see patterns. You'll start to understand what your dreams are trying to tell you. Now, if you're in a state of like the Nine of Swords, which again can be extreme worry, well, you're probably going to have dreams that match that energy, right? But some of those dreams could be helping you, showing you the way to free yourself, right? Free your thoughts. Because when you free your thoughts, your spiritual team is right there, like with showing you the way. This king looks like he's going to hand you the pentacle. Yet, at the same time, I do remind you that people have free will. So, I can't guarantee you that this king hands you the pentacle. But it does kind of look that way. Whoa. Okay. Excuse me, card went off the table. We have the Seven of Cups. Did show in reverse, at least that's the way it was on the floor. I'm going to remember that, but I'm going to keep it in the upright also. So, Seven of Cups, that energy can feel chaotic. It's like I got to make a decision about something. I got to choose one of these cups, but what if I choose the wrong cup? What if it doesn't go the way I hope it'll go? And I feel like that's what your spiritual team is saying, like choose a cup and then try to let go of control. Like live day by day by day, moment by moment by moment. Don't try to predict the future too far in the future. I definitely feel like this 7 is representing this year. So I feel like there's a major decision you're making, and I feel like it's within this year. I know this is June that we're doing, but it does feel like it potentially could be life-changing. Look at that. The Magician. Beautiful. The Manifester. Can see that it's like nurturing my own garden. This Magician is mirrored by the Ten of Pentacles. Can I have a house of abundance? Certainly looks that way. Though in the same breath, I feel like I do have to make some choices, some decisions. I do need to be proactive. But I feel like if I am proactive, when I say I mean you, but when I am proactive, I feel like it's like the fruits of your labor follow. Oh, wrong way. I feel like just be careful that you don't get lost in your head, especially as it relates to like negative thoughts, or be careful not to let other people's negative thoughts land in your head. You know what I mean? Like if it's their thoughts, if it's their actions, don't allow them to become yours if it's not in a positive light. Well, there's Temperance. Look at that. Bottom of the deck. Matches Mother Mary. Card is Sagittarius, by the way. But this is all about divine timing. Patience is first. You know why? Because sometimes we want things before their time. And sometimes we get things before their time. And maybe they don't work out as good as they could, but maybe they come back around. You know what I mean? Like maybe someone was just meant to like open up your heart chakra, activate it, and then that's done. And sometimes we think, okay, well that must be the person that I'm meant to be with, but maybe their job was just to come in to activate. You know what I mean? Like when you think of soulmates, like, you know, yes, there's soulmates in love, but there's soulmates, you know, who are friends. There's soulmates that work at the local grocery store. And some just come in for a moment, and that is to like, just to activate you. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. See what's under Temperance, 6 of Swords. So letting go, you know, it's like Temperance is saying, my child. Well, look at that. 10 of Swords below that. 10 of Swords, you know, that's like a repeat pattern of dagger after dagger after dagger. So if I'm expecting something different to happen here, it's not going to. It's going to be the same thing. Dagger after dagger after dagger. However, you know, what I got to look at in this energy is I'm allowing these daggers. I'm expecting these daggers. And therefore the universe gives you these daggers. If that's what I expect, if that is my intention, if that is my vibration, then the universe is like, well, then that's what I have to match. So I feel like this is a pattern that needs to be cut. You know, understanding that you have a lot more power over this than you think, and maybe that's it. It's like regaining your power. And I'm saying that because those 10 swords go down to the 6 of Swords. That's a good thing. Because that means I've taken a moment and I've looked at my life and I've looked around and I'm starting to realize, like, who's really toxic to my energy, toxic to my growth, toxic to my heart. And who is here to help me expand my world, expand my wealth, expand my heart. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give someone too much time, especially if they keep putting daggers in my back. 6 of Swords, I know who they are. I know what is toxic. And I'm no longer taking it. And I feel like that's exactly what Temperance is waiting for. You know, a lot of times we think we're waiting on divine timing, but sometimes divine timing is waiting on us. Right? Because in the 10 of Swords, to bring in, I don't know, let's just say to bring in the light, you have to be able to recognize that. And I feel like in the 10 of Swords, it's almost submission. So I got to find a way to get my power back, my truth. And that's exactly what you do in the 6 of Swords. And then I feel like that's why we now have movement in here. Even though we were asked to have patience, but everything now seems to be moving forward. So I feel like the universe was somewhat waiting on you. All right. Let's bring in the crystal vision and let's go deeper. You know, I feel like, Scorpio, you're just naturally the Empress's energy. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just naturally loving. It doesn't mean that you can't be the opposite of that sometimes. I mean, we all have light and dark in us, right? But I feel like you're just naturally, like, loving and naturally want to give your love. But I also got to make sure that, you know, I feel like as I mature, as I grow, I start to learn who deserves my love and who doesn't. Doesn't mean the Empress closes her heart, because she doesn't. She stays loving, she stays nurturing, but she's now gained the wisdom of, again, who deserves it and who doesn't. So I am curious to take a deeper look at this king. But we're going to start at the beginning, that we're reading it as a whole, but let's start at the beginning with the Page of Swords, the Empress, King of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. Hello, Destiny. You know, I feel like coming over this Page of Swords, it's like you are being guided. You know, your destiny includes all kinds of things. You know, loving memories, hurtful memories. You know what I mean? It's like all different kinds of experiences. Our soul doesn't come... Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe, you know, after we've lived, like, some hard lives, we're like, you know, okay, this lifetime I wanted it to be easy peasy. But truly the soul wants to expand. And that can be through difficult lessons, but also very loving type energy at the same time. So this is just part of your will, part of your destiny. And these epiphanies that you're receiving, I mean, they are coming from your guides, no doubt. Destiny. You know, that wheel sits on top of a lotus flower. And the lotus flower is like impossible to kill. I mean, the lotus, you know, it just like Scorpio, you're comfortable under the water and you're comfortable above the water. Well, hello, Emperor, right over the Empress. Wow. There's your counterpart. How interesting. So the Emperor and the Empress are sharing the wheel. That's powerful. You know, if this is talking about a relationship or love, let's just say, powerful. This is my power couple. If this is talking about business in any way, man, these two people can collaborate together and truly create wealth together. You know, they're different, but the same. They're different, but yet they complete each other. Emperor is a card of Aries, though. I want to throw that out there. It doesn't have to be an Aries. You know, the Emperor is someone that I can look up to. The Emperor is someone who becomes the leader of the people. The Emperor, like the Empress, I feel like, has lived a lot of life. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I'm old. It just means I've had a lot of life, even within my young life. But both of them have gained the wisdom of it. All right, let's keep going. We have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands coming over that King. That can be a good thing. Why am I saying that? Because this Nine of Wands coming right over the King tells me that this King is looking at his own life and his responsibility within anything and everything. You know, the Nine of Wands is a period of like heavy responsibilities. But truly, I feel like the person in the Nine of Wands, like because 9 is about reflection, reflect back, but it's the final reflection. And it's also, you know, I feel like the Nine of Wands is knowing my part in a situation or in all the situations. I feel like if this person is willing to dive deep within themselves, they emerge as a spirit warrior. They understand how truly strong they've become. This could be someone who's been in reflection. Well, let's see what comes next to it. Five of Wands. Okay. Coming here, the Four of Cups. Next to the Nine of Wands. So what is this King looking at? Well, maybe drama that he's been involved in. Maybe drama that he potentially caused. You know, the Five of Wands to me is battling type energy, but there really is no victor in this energy because no one wants to back down. Coming over the Four of Cups, you know, interesting because it's a 5 and a 4, which is a 9, and then the 9. I feel like if, let's just say I'm interested in this King, it may not serve me to move things sooner. Or let me put it another way. I feel like until this King has reflected upon his life and his responsibility within whatever situations maybe were difficult or what have you, I feel like there's a freedom to that. But it does take time. And maybe that's what this King's been doing. You know, I feel like you just want to, you just want to be careful that you don't get pulled into other people's drama. You don't get pulled into energy that you know what I mean, like somebody just wants to fight with you, and you're like, fighting back does no good. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't stand your ground in that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying drama is drama. And I don't know, just don't get pulled into it. And I'm saying that mainly because it's coming over the Four Cups, and that is the energy of inactivity. But it's also asking you to use your spiritual discernment. Okay, let's keep going. 5 is about change. So this energy wants to change. It's interesting that it's also upon your will. So maybe that's one of your soul's lesson, is to learn how to deal with drama and then not get pulled into unnecessary drama. And I'm saying that because we have unnecessary worry right below it. And you know what? I feel like if we came here and our soul wanted to learn certain experiences, and you know, we're brave enough to allow it, we're really clearing that energy forever, for eternity. You know, like, it's major. It's not just in this lifetime. I feel like it's for eternity. We have the 2 swords over the 8 of swords. We have the Hermit, card of Virgo. We have the Queen of Wands. Can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I feel like it's you. You know, I feel like what's happening with you also is, you know, once I stop getting involved in other people's dramas, I stop worrying about the things that I cannot control. I feel that there's an immediate growth within you, and I feel like you get back to being you. You know, I feel like there's been a period of time where these swords have just kind of held you down, held you back. Four of Cups, though, you know, I could be careful that I'm being proactive to change what I can change, or to free myself from self-created prisons. Two of Swords says there's a blindfold, and there may be something I don't want to face, but I need to face it. You know, in this Eight of Swords, it's like your higher self is showing you that you got yourself all tied up, right? But these ropes that bind you, they're loose. You can free yourself from them. A lot of times I think it's in our head, it's in our thought system. The Hermit would ask you, much like I feel like this King over here, to go deep. You know, to seek the answers, or to ask the questions to your guides, to divine, to God. I feel like some of you, you know, I feel like you just naturally carry the beacon of light that the Hermit has. And because I feel like you are so good at helping others see their ways or see their next step. But you also got to be that for yourself. I feel like the Knight of Wands that moved into the Queen of Wands, I also feel that's you. Again, I feel like, you know, maybe like in my younger days, I was carefree and happy-go-lucky in that. But, you know, life happened. But I feel like this is you getting back to you. And then we have the Queen of Swords coming over the Nine of Swords. Two queens back to back here. Queen of Swords can be an Aquarius. You know, my daughter has an Aquarius moon. Some of you may also have that. Gemini or Libra. Doesn't have to be any of that. Again, it can be you. This queen is mirrored by the Two of Swords. Interesting. I'm going to come back to those queens. We'll come back. Four of Swords. Healing. I feel like it's just what you need. Healing. Healing of the heart, but healing of the mind. You know, there's four swords here. Three of those swords are just like the Three of Swords, right? It's piercing the heart. But there's one sword that we rely upon, and that's our own truth. And I also feel like it's our own thoughts. I feel like I find you in your head, and I'm hoping I can move you out of that. So let's keep going. Four of Swords, I love this coming over the Ten of Pentacles, because, you know, that's like healing of the home, healing of the finances. You know, the Ten of Pentacles to me is, I feel like by the time we reach that Ten of Pentacles, it's forever. You know, of course, again, there's free will, but I feel like it has the potential of being forever. That's an abundant household. That's a house that has roots. You know what I mean? It's not just going to float away. It's got strong roots to it. Temperance again. Now Temperance is right over Judgment. I feel like this is saying divine timing is beginning. Now, it is coming at the bottom of the reading. So remember that, because I feel like in a reading, you know, you got to look at, like, you know, we're talking about June, yes. But let's say I never clear this Eight of Swords. I stay in the self-created prison. Well, then chances are things will stay the same. But if I'm able to clear that, if I'm able to free myself from that, then things start moving. I feel like divine is waiting on you more than you waiting on divine. Trust in divine timing. You know, and then having the Emperor and the Empress right up here. The Six of Cups below them. And Judgment below that. And now Temperance. You don't think divine is busy in your life? You would be wrong. I hate to say that. Interesting, we have Aries, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Alright, let's keep going. You know, I feel like truly you have an opportunity, and probably through your whole life, of really gaining some tremendous wisdom over some experiences you've had that maybe have not been the greatest. But I feel like, you know, I feel like you're strong enough, though, to look at them. You know, I feel like something has set you back, no doubt. But I do feel like you're able to break that, right? Because the Eight of Swords says that you can break free from that. 8 is about a new beginning, as above, so below. Divine is all through your reading. Seven of Pentacles over the Seven of Cups. Well, hello, Ace of Pentacles. Coming over the Magician. This is you manifesting it. And how much do I love that the Ace of Pentacles with the Magician is mirroring the Ten of Pentacles and the Four of Swords over here. Healing over the household. And then this Ace of Pentacles. Boom. You know, the Ace of Pentacles, and by the way, this is really showing your power in manifesting this ace. This is something that comes into your physical world. This is something that's tangible. It can be a person, can be an opportunity, can be all of the above. Well, let's see what came with it. Well, hello, Ten of Pentacles again. Now that ace is connected directly to the 10. And then the Strength card. First of all, when I see the Strength card in the Scorpio's reading, first thing I think of is my son who is guiding my daughter. I feel like he watches her over her. And that's what I would want. This is, for sure, taming the beast within ourselves. And I'm saying that because of the Eight of Swords and that Two of Swords. You know, it's finding that balance of the light and the dark within us. Maybe you didn't feel like you had the power to manifest. This is showing you that you do have the power to manifest. Put those intentions out there of what you'd want to see or how you want to see things, but let go of exactly how things must arrive. You know, when this ace shows up, first of all, it's directly connected to the Ten of Pentacles now. And then it's mirrored by the Ten of Pentacles with healing over it and then divine's hand in it. How can that be bad? How could that be bad? Strength card's also number 8. Infinity. New beginning. Judgment. That's what Judgment asks for. I want you in the present moment so that you can really see the signs so that you can have a rebirth. Doesn't mean it has to be your whole life, like every part of my life is changing. But, man, I mean, from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Empress and the Emperor together, connected by the wheel. You know, to me, like, do I question, is Spirit involved in my life? This is showing us how involved they are. However, they can't cross the line either, though. You do have free will. And, you know, I can send you in, if I'm divine, I can send you ace after ace after ace. But that doesn't guarantee me that you're going to take it, that you're going to grab it. The Magician is showing you the power you have in manifesting. Okay. Well, I'm not going to leave it there because I'm not done. There's a couple things I want to look at. Let's just spread these apart so I have a little bit more room. I definitely want to start with the Emperor and the Empress. We have the Hierophant, and then we have the King of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. This king, though, no matter what its sign, talks about someone who does have an open heart. This king is someone who does appreciate a relationship, that special person, not just any old relationship. If this king came in reverse, then I'd be like, watch out. But it didn't. And it's attached to the Hierophant, card of Taurus, by the way. But it's about your belief system. It is a 5, so it does offer some type of change. Whether you accept it or not is up to you. The Hierophant asks you to look at your belief system. You know, what is your head full of over here with the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords? That's what the Hierophant wants you to look at. Have you stopped believing in yourself? Have you stopped believing in miracles? Don't stop. Don't stop. I'm thinking of a Fleetwood Mac song all of a sudden. Okay, well, I kind of love that over the Emperor and the Empress. Let's just take one more swing around there. Just one more swing around the Emperor and the Empress connected to that wheel. Knight of Wands. Fast moving energy. It's passion. Definitely desire. You know, it can be confusing. It definitely feels like it's confused my thoughts a little bit. And I mean your thoughts. I'm still not done. So, this energy comes in. Remember, when you see a knight, at least the way I read it, I think of the knight, you know, the knight is sent by the king or the queen. And that knight is going to complete their mission. Now, whether you accept it or you don't accept it, it's going to be up to you, right? But this is more about energy that's heading towards you. Page of Cups. I feel like it makes you feel like a child again. Brings out that inner child in you. I feel like, you know, it's passion driven. And I feel like for some reason, I feel like it almost makes me blush. Like someone makes me blush. You know, it's almost like flirting. And that flirting makes me blush. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's what I'm feeling. Okay. Let's just move over and look at this king a little bit more. Okay, well that didn't take long. Hello, Ace of Cups. Well, that's love. You know, I feel like whoever this king is for you, me rushing this king wouldn't do any good, because I feel like it's so important that this king goes through this stage of reflection and understanding their part within their life. You know what I mean? Like the things that didn't work out, they have to know. Because I feel like if they don't, then they're just going to repeat. You don't want that. And I don't mean that they've done it to you, maybe, but I don't know. I feel like more it's just like this king has lived in somewhat of a repeat pattern. And until I reflect upon that as the king, then nothing changes. I feel like this king's maturing and knows that, right? And I don't know why I get this feeling like this king's thinking to himself, you know, I've got to start like living a more fulfilled life. And I mean it in the way of, you know, I don't mean like partying and doing, I mean, I feel like that's what I've been doing. This king's got love on his mind. Oh, I thought we had another card. Look at that. The Devil. Card of Capricorn. I find this very interesting because my daughter has a friend who's a Capricorn. And it's like this relationship of what are we, friends? Are we more than that? You know what I mean? It's confusing. So I find it very interesting that, and this person is a Capricorn. And again, she's got an Aquarius moon. I don't know why I just said that. But, so for some of you, I feel like it's a Capricorn. Now, this king may also be looking at areas of his life that, you know, that I get tempted to. So things that maybe don't serve me well. And I've got to know that. Alright, but I'm not quite done. I'm going to look just a little bit more on that. I feel like potentially this king and the emperor may be the same person. Because again, I feel like this king is going through some deep reflection. Whether he meant to or not. You know, sometimes the world forces you. Right? Like things just tumble and I have no choice but to look at my life and, you know, what did I do wrong, or you know, what can I do better, or what have you. But each of us mature in our own time, I suppose. And I'm saying that because of the Five of Wands. You know, I don't want to get pulled into that energy. Hello, King of Pentacles again. Alright, we have the High Priestess. It's your intuition. The Five of Pentacles. Two of Cups. And then the King of Pentacles again. Soulmate. Doesn't mean that everything works out perfectly because someone's a soulmate. But it has the potential. Let's put it that way. It has the potential. Five of Pentacles is the energy of, it almost feels like a tower, like something happens where I feel thrown out into the cold. But what I love about the Five of Pentacles, first of all, it's a 5, so it is change, but I may not have asked for this change. Nonetheless, here it is. And it can talk about like job wise, like boom, all of a sudden I lose a job. But I often feel like, especially with so much divine energy here, if that's the case, it's being replaced. I definitely feel like this is a soulmate energy. I definitely feel like there's love. But in the same breath, I want to say, until this king really reflects upon his life, I don't know. I do know. I don't know why I say I don't know all the time, because I do know. I just feel like if, let's just say he doesn't reflect upon his life, let's say there are no changes, then I feel like then the drama ensues. Nonetheless, soulmate. And I feel like eventually this king becomes the emperor, or has the potential of becoming the emperor. You know, it's interesting because I definitely feel you're the empress. I feel like it's natural within you. But what you want to be careful of is, you know, you can vibrate at a very high level. Don't allow anyone to bring you, like, I put a post out not too long ago where I forget what it said, but it was an image of someone like climbing a pair of stairs, and they were at the top of the stairs, and they were talking to someone below, and it's like, if you want to be with me, then you have to meet me at my vibration, because there's no way in hell I'm coming back down to yours. Okay. What else should I look at? Look at this, Four of Wands. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm just taking it on the whole spread. This is the marriage card. Commitment. But I have to tell you, everybody in this energy wants to be in this energy. So if, like, you know, someone's kicking and screaming, then they're not the person. They're not the person in this card. I feel like this is also talking about the potential. You know what I mean? And because we have the Four of Wands and we have the Ten of Pentacles twice. You know, I don't want to give anybody false hope, because again, other people's free will, there's nothing I can do about it. But I do need to stay who I am. I need to be true to me. I need to be authentic to myself. And I feel like if you are, and you don't get caught up in drama, I feel like naturally you're just receiving the epiphanies or the next steps to help you. We have the Moon. I'm just following this now. We have the Three of Pentacles. That's you. That's your authentic self. This is you being the missing piece of the puzzle. And then the Empress again. So you are meant for this Four of Wands. I guess what I need to say is I can't rush anyone else. If they want to be in there, they'll want to be in there. You know what I mean? The Moon, card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer, by the way. But it can be uncertainty. But it can also be very dreamy energy, because I felt the Empress earlier was like dreaming. I feel like there's someone, and I have a feeling it's this king, who does admire you. But may not even say that to you. Because in the Three of Pentacles, I feel like I'm busy creating. I'm beginning a project. I'm beginning something that opens up that creative part of me. And I feel like someone else, like, looking at that, looking at you and admiring that. But doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be said. but I feel like you'll feel it. All right. Anything else want to come out? Let's leave it at that. Anything else want to come out? What a reading, Scorpio. Whoa, your cards went up on the computer. Interesting. 3 Cups, the Tower, and the King of Swords. 3 Cups is usually the energy of joy, celebration. There is a tower here, though. You know, the tower doesn't always have to mean complete destruction. It can mean a shakeup. And then the King of Swords, you know, can be an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. But I feel it's more about someone who's moving into their authentic self, their authentic life, their authentic truth. I feel like this king, which may be this exact king, which may also be this emperor, I feel like there is like some type of an issue that, let's just say in previous relationships or just in life in general, I feel like this king has suffered some towers, but I do feel like some of those towers were his own fault. You know what I mean? Like, we have to know that sometimes the towers we've caused them. And that's why he's in such deep reflection over that. You know, and then I feel like for you, you know, this is about you, like, coming from your inner child again, like living more carefree and expressing yourself in a carefree way. And I feel like, you know, no matter who's coming your way, I feel like they must meet you at a certain vibration. You know, sometimes that can scare people off, like, oh my, you know, she's vibrating at a much higher level than I am. Can I match that? Can I even get there? And maybe that's what this king is reflecting upon. Like, I gotta look at the areas of my life that, you know, may have caused these different towers for me. And maybe I've given towers. Because I feel like you're not interested in just any old buddy. Not when it comes to commitment. Like, I feel like you've got to be, what's the word I want to use? First of all, I feel like, I like that the King of Swords came in the upright because, again, all the kings can be the same person. But the king coming in the upright, the King of Swords in the upright, this is someone of integrity. Someone who speaks the truth. Maybe not always. Maybe that's what they're learning. All right, I just want to look at one more thing, and then I'll let you be. Ten of Wands, but it came in reverse. Ten of Wands, it's like backbreaking. This is where all the responsibility is on my shoulders. You know, it probably came in reverse because I have a feeling that maybe at one time this king put responsibilities on someone else's shoulders. His responsibilities on other people's shoulders. And that may have served him for a little while. But it won't serve him anymore. Because I feel like, you know, when you're authentic to yourself, when you're true to yourself, people know that they have to be that way with you, or they can't have you. So I feel like this king probably in his lifetime has like shrugged off responsibilities, put them on someone else's shoulders. And that has caused the tower. Probably more than once. But it is in reverse. So I feel like they have that realization. I feel like that's a really good thing. Again, I don't want to give you false hope, because let's say this person never has this realization. Well, do you really want them then? You know what I mean? Like, do you really want them? You know, if you're vibrating at the Empress's level, then allow that energy to match you. Don't lower your energy to be with someone. You want to be with me, baby, you got to raise your vibration. It's okay if you don't. But if you don't, you can't have me. And what a catch you are. What a catch you are. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there because we almost used a whole deck. But I do want to read Patience. Though I feel like that's about to come to an end. Patience. God's timing is perfect, as this card reminds you. When you pray for help, that request is heard and answered. If your prayers involve other people, their free will decisions influence the timing of the outcome. Heaven knows this and devises ingenious solutions that arrive at exactly the right time. You receive this card as a reminder to have patience with God's plans and solutions. If you try to control, force, or push your own agenda, you may miss out on an infinitely better alternative. Ask Mother Mary to help you demonstrate her infinite patience and trust in God's timing. Amen. Alright guys, this is a lot of information. But I feel like we broke down, like we really broke down who these people are, what they're going through, what they're thinking. And I feel like it's important that you know that. But also, I feel like one of the main things here, you know, is beautiful as it relates to love. And even your, you know, ability to create abundance for yourself, but maybe even with someone else. You know, I mean, here it is, right? It's all in the bottom line. So that's all a great potential. I feel like just, you know, simply, if, you know, how do I say this? Like, if someone is not willing to improve themselves in the areas that they know need improvement, well, there's your answer. Doesn't mean they never will. But I don't think you're supposed to wait around and find out. I think you keep on moving, and that wants you will raise their vibration. And I feel like that's part of what this is saying. Like, letting go of control to the point of, like, I can't make someone do what they aren't ready to do. And I mean that as in, what a shame would be if this person does not fully realize their part with the towers in their life. And if they don't realize that, well, then they're doomed to repeat those towers. And I don't want you to be part of that tower. So, you know, as it relates to love, I feel like allow them to reach your vibration. Don't match theirs, right? If it's lower than yours, well, sweetie, you got to work on your vibration to be with me. As far as your money goes, that looks also very good. You know, and I love that there's healing over the household. Healing over the household. Now that includes money. So I feel like your potential, you know, and it's interesting because as I'm doing June's readings, what I'm really realizing is before, like the readings beforehand, there seem to be some restrictions. And I feel like those restrictions are being lifted. Now, that could be planetary action. But I do feel like these restrictions are being lifted. And because they're being lifted, new opportunities, new people, or even old people who are in a new way, you know, are entering into our lives now. You have the Ace of Cups, you have the Two of Cups, you have the Four of Wands, you have all the beautiful love cards. But that 8 and 9 of Swords is the one area I feel like for you, because I feel like this king's got to do some reflection, but then you need to reflect upon the 8 and 9 of Swords. Self-created prison. But you can free yourself from that. That's the great news. 9 of Swords, unnecessary worry. There's worry. But it's saying, you know, and why am I in this unnecessary? Well, maybe I'm trying to control something more than I have the ability to. So I just got to let it go and hand it over to God. And I feel like because, you know, here's the wheel that's kind of opening up this whole reading. Not really opening the reading, it's your first clarifier. But nonetheless, it's connecting the Emperor and the Empress who are on the same vibration. And I feel like they are the power couple. By the way, these two people, they collaborate. There is no doubt that they can create the 10 of Pentacles together. There is no doubt in my mind. No doubt. This Ace is for you, though. This is meant to expand your world. This Ace of Cups, I feel like, is someone already feels that. But I still feel like they need reflection. And then maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. They got to know they got to do their part. They can't just take. It's got to be an equal give and take. And if it's not, then it's not for me. Alright, I know, easier said than done. However, I feel like there's some lessons here. Some soul lessons. And that's another reason why the wheel is here. Right? It is so your soul can expand. And I feel like you've gone through some difficult lessons. And I feel like you're clearing up the rest of these difficult lessons. Learn from them. Because when you learn from them, boom, that becomes your wisdom. And nobody can take that away from you. Nobody. Alright, I'm going to let that be. I thank you. I love you. I have so much gratitude for you being part of my channel, part of my soul family. I thank you so much for your donations. I thank you for sharing the videos with your friends or your social media. You know, I mean, you don't have to, but if you feel that, I appreciate that. I just thank you for being you, and thank you for allowing me to be me. I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.